Hey guys, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. Apologies about the last video. It's really windy here. The west coast of Ireland, particularly Clare, is getting battered by really hard gale force winds, and it's just making the audio kind of go a bit weird. So apologies about that. Um, as I said, it's Alien Day. I am going to watch Alien the Director's Cut. I prefer this version of the movie because it goes a bit more into the xenomorph's biology, and hopefully, if anyone's interested, they can join me and watch it. If you do want to take part, just let me know, and I will give you the time code for the actual movie. Okay, so let's get this show on the road. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I am going to put on Alien, the director's cut. My mouse can actually pick it up, is the question. Now, just going to try and see if I can access the see if I can access the sorry about this, guys. Yo, Bronco, Anthony, thanks for tuning in. It's not over. I actually just had to stop because of water. Can I go? Yo, Bronco, Anthony, thanks for tuning in. It's not over. Echo, apologies. So, Bronco, thanks for tuning in. If anyone wants to take part, I have the link in the werewolf chat, and I haven't started the movie yet. British Tyrannosaur, thanks for taking part. I think Neve is watching, and I was a total absolute idiot. I forgot to message her to let her know that I would be offline doing this. So apologies, Neve. I am an idiot. So if anyone wants to take part, or if anyone has any questions, fire them into the chat. And yeah, cool. I'm going to start the movie right now. So yeah, this was Ridley Scott's first movie. He had done another movie before this, but it was his first sci-fi movie. Apologies, I should correct myself. It's his first sci-fi movie, and it's his first commercial movie. He had done a movie before called The Duelists. So it was an independent flick, and it starred Keith Carradine and Harvey Keitel. It was a period piece, and he wasn't really interested in sci-fi. So basically, he was intrigued by Dan O'Bannon's script. Dan O'Bannon had done a sci-fi script earlier on with I think John Carpenter. It was Dark Star, and it didn't do well. It wasn't received well. It was a sci-fi comedy. So O'Bannon said, "Well, if I can't make him laugh, I'll try and make him scream." So he came up with the idea of doing a kind of high-grade B movie horror with a very kind of gothic aesthetic. He actually came up with the idea when he was working in I think France on Jodorowsky's Dune, and that's where he met H.R. Giger. Giger himself was a Swiss surrealist artist, and he done some really weird kind of outdoor art, and it was fairly feckin' kind of screwy stuff. So he loved his art, and he said, if I'm going to make a monster movie, that guy's going to star in it. And Yeah, he won the lotto basically by sheer luck. In that Star Wars had come out the previous year and had killed it at the box office. So as a result, you had a bunch of spaceship scripts just coming in Fox's door, and they were looking at any and all of them. And O'Bannon's script just landed in the right place at the right time. And yeah, that's how we got Alien. So as I said, I'm going to stick on the director's cut now, and I will let you know what the time code is. I'm putting it playing now. The time code is the intro by Ridley Scott. I am at 1 second. If 1 second into the movie, if you want to join in. Uh, we have 3 people in the chat. Actually, look at this opening on the movie. All the cast actually came back for Alien Isolation video game, Barry and Home. So I think they got a kind of mimic to copy him. So, yeah. Directed by Ridley Scott. Really like this kind of bleed in intro where the letters phase in. I remember when I was a kid, I watched this. I was like watching a castle floating through space, the big refinery that the Nostromo is hauling. Martian towing vehicle, the Nostromo Crew 7. I don't think that includes Jonesy. That is cool. They're actually old CRT televisions, kind of tube tellies stapled to the wall, and Coca-Cola crates. I actually adore the aesthetic of the ship. It's, it's really creepy and cool. Actually, question time to you guys: what age were you when you first watched this movie? 'Cause I was 11. I actually saw this after I saw Aliens, so it's cool. The screen refracting off the helmets, and they're communicating with each other. Yeah, British Tyrannosaur. I think the director's cut actually only was released in 2003. It first came to cinemas, and then it ended up on the Alien quadrilogy with extended cuts of the other movies. That said, this is actually shorter than the theatrical cut, maybe by 2 minutes. Anthony, if you're watching, what age were you when you first saw this movie? It's interesting the way they focus on John Hurt first because that initially makes you think he's going to be the main character. And he was originally not going to be in this movie. He had to do Zulu Dawn, and a guy by the name of John Finch was going to play the role of Kane. However, 2 days into the shoot, it transpired John Finch was diabetic. So Scott filmed a bunch of scenes around the character, and then when he was able to secure John Hurt, they got him into the role. See you later, Bronco. Thanks for popping in. It's a really nice camera shot we get around the table, and we get the dynamic of the characters very quickly. Harry Dean Stanton, Yaphet Kodo have brilliant chemistry. These two kind of grease monkeys. Kane, who's like the very salt of the earth officer, obviously played by John Hurt. Ian Holmes Ash, who at first you think he is just a by the book medical officer, but as the movie progresses, it slowly kind of reveals what's going on. You were 9 or 10 when you watched this. Yeah, that was the same with me actually, dude. With Predator, my my brother threatened me under pain of death if I ever told my folks he let me watch Predator, he'd kick my hole. So yeah. And here we have Dallas, Tom Skerritt, going in to talk to Mother. I love the design of the ship. In the first Alien vs Predator game, you're on board a ship like the Nostromo, and in order to destroy it, you have to break all the glass screens in this room to make the ship go into self-destruct. Although I actually fairly sure that wouldn't destroy the ship. Yeah, through the movie we get the kind of Will and Yutani logo here and there, but it's referred to as the company by and large. The name only really picked up in the kind of lithograph and the kind of all the signs and stuff in the second movie, and then it was used, I think, properly used by name in Alien 3. So they're realizing they're not close to home, and everybody's kind of giving them shit. Veronica Cartwright is Lambert. Um, there's a bit of controversy over Lambert at the moment. Uh, want to see it since we were 7 or 8 British Tyrannosaur. Yeah. I think everyone had that one mate whose parents didn't give a shit about what they'd watch. So you could go in and you end up watching fucking Commando or what else? Other fucking 18s movies I watch. Friends House. Cobra with Sliced Alone. Ah, we've two boys here now. They're going down into the engine room of the ship, and they're just bitching about pay and work and stuff like that. And I think that's the failure of the likes of Prometheus and Covenant, that we have scientists and researchers and people you can't really engage with. You have these very salt of the earth characters, as they were referred to, truckers in space, and yeah, they're basically trying to just do a job. Even Dallas, just there's a sense of just, he's just fed up of his job. He just wants to get it done and over with. He doesn't really care. Yeah, soft flutes indeed. Um, they, David was, Jesus Christ. I really like the character in Prometheus, but I think he went to almost pantomime level in Alien Covenant. But yeah, as you were saying, Anthony, the first 20 minutes of setup is uneasy. And this is even before they land on the planet and encounter the creature. You're on edge the whole fucking time. But again, these characters, they're likable, relatable characters. I think we've all worked on a job where there's lads who've like fucking given out about working conditions and hours and pay and stuff like that. And just like, if they can cut corners, they will. So this is the first extended scene, I think. They go into a bit more about the ecclesiastical beacon and just what it might be and what it could be. Oh yeah, going back to Veronica Cartwright's character. So according to Ridley Scott, her backstory was her gender was altered in the womb. So she was originally conceived as a male and then altered. And this is kind of a joke. It's kind of an in joke because the character was supposed to be male, but Dan O'Bannon and Ron Shusett put a little asterisk on the script saying one or two of the characters can be changed to female if you wish. And I think Scott was kind of like not sure where to kind of designate the gender of the character. And it was kind of a kind of in joke or a cuff joke. Some people think it's because of her kind of looks that he decided to give her this backstory, and there is a bit of a kind of controversy over that. I myself don't think it affects the plot in any way. It's all these characters have backstories and dossiers that you can read in expanded material and the Will you Yutani archive, but it has no bearing on the plot. So I don't think that it really matters either way. I just remember when I first saw this movie, I'm thinking, Jesus, it's like a huge castle. No, you are. You're dead right, Anthony. It does it is a bit of world building and does go well. Maybe in the future, people can like have the choice of genetically altering their child. But again, this I don't think either way it really affects the plot. And down we go. Yeah, the Nostromo was originally meant to be yellow. Uh, Scott had told the designers that the ship had to have a very kind of industrial kind of construction site esque look to it, and yeah, it was going to be big in yellow, and then he took a look at me and goes, the fucking banana lads. Yeah, because most construction equipment and diggers and cranes and stuff are yellow because they'll be spotted. But I really don't think you have to worry too much about crashing into crashing into a fucking spaceship in the middle of space. I don't think the color would really make any kind of difference to the aesthetic. Yeah, the power loader is a ground vehicle. That makes sense. But do you really need to have a fucking towing vehicle that covered colored yellow? Like, know, I do get the power loader. That's a ground. But if you were to crash a ship into another ship, you'd have to be blind as a fucking bat. I mean, like, oh yeah, definitely. The I too think that was another reason O'Bannon hired Giger because his stuff was very sexualized and very kind of intense. But yeah, onboard navigation. It is. They inject a kind of a pseudo kind of uh, a pseudo kind of rape story into a very B movie sci-fi in that you have a parasite that can infect either gender and can birth out this monstrosity. But I've never seen or thought that the alien as an evil creature. I just see it as part of its life cycle. Again, there are wasps that can inject their young into a caterpillar or a tarantula, and they'll burst out. So it works in that way as well. But you can look at it from a kind of a psychosexual kind of standpoint as well. So yeah, basically they're marooned. and the lads are given their time estimate for repairs. Yeah, that's a good point, Dan, because like it, this movie isn't just about a monster systematically killing the crew. It's kind of it's kind of like, well, there when dealing with this thing, you're faced with a fate worse than death, and I think that's why the director's cut excels. We get to see the aftermath of the attack on Dallas and Brett, and it's like, okay, this thing will either fucking kill me or fuck me or both, and yeah, that's never good. Very much like the theme. I think I think the theme has this is something interesting because this is a reverse kind of ideal. But the theme was a novel that came out in the 1930s, and it was based on a short story called Who Goes There about a creature that assimilates other humans. And that pulp story went on to influence B movies and B movie horror, which in turn went on to influence this. And I think if this hadn't been a success, John Carpenter may have not got to go ahead to do the theme. So I think it is an influence in an influence in its original format to this, and then this influenced the movie. So yeah, it's a definite recurring source of stories that the enemy within that you can't just shoot the creature or fucking expel the creature by just standard kind of physical combat either. It's a parasite, it's an infection. And while I love aliens, I do think that so the xenomorph is kind of lessened by turned into standard kind of cannon fodder. This is an interesting scene because this is what made me think there's something up with Ash. He jogs on the spot, but he goes really, really fucking fast. Like that's faster than any human can jog on the spot. I don't know if you guys are watching this. Tell me what you think. So yeah, this is actually Ridley Scott's kids, I think, or it could be on the exterior as they're going down. Essentially, to make, yeah, this is the kids. This is Ridley Scott's son and two other young kids, and basically to make the sets look bigger, they hired kids to wear the spacesuits and shoot them from a distance. Like how condescending Ash is, like waving at the screen and stuff. There's definitely a maliciousness to him that we see also in David. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is an extended scene as well, where Ripley goes down to suggest she can help them do the repairs. The two lads are just fucking with her, and it turns on. It turns out they've deliberately turned on the Halox system to drown out her voice. Mm-hmm. Bitch. That's funny though. You could see them like sabotaging little things on the ship so they can look like they're busy, but not. I'm wondering, has Ash maybe a slight kind of system kind of throwback or Ghost in the Machine that he sees himself superior to humans. Oh yeah, that's the thing. That's the like the old dark house. Like as people said, this is a haunted house story in space. But there's always that part of our brain that wants to have a peek inside and see what's in the closet or under the bed. We're terrified but enthralled in equal measure. So they're coming up to the derelict. And do you watch this yourself, dude? Well, that's fandom in a nutshell, though. If you're passionate enough about something, you wait. Like prequels, people were still fucking going mad about the prequels. Oh yeah, I heard that. I heard that British Tyrannosaur. I've still to pick up the comic. It'll be interesting. I did hear Lance Henriksen and Michael Bean are doing the doing blending their voices to the audio play, so that should be interesting. Although Michael Bean and Lance Henriksen probably sound like chronic smokers at this stage, but it's an audio play. If any of you guys seen the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly when they were re-released in DVD and put in the new scenes, and they got Eli Wallach and Clint Eastwood to redo the voices. It was just they stuck out like a sore thumb because you're not going to sound the same you sounded. You're not going to sound like the way you sounded in your 30s. Now that you're 60, you're going to have a different voice. But again, it's an audio drama, so I don't think it'll affect it. This is cool. They're coming into the interior of the ship. In Alien Isolation, the flashback scene is really cool because it lets you explore more of the ship and you get a really good look at it. British transfer. I'd love to see the Eric the Red script set in the Farming Planet or the Wooden Planet script as well. That would have been fucking crazy. We got a kind of comic version of that, but can't think of the fucking title at the moment. But we did kind of get the Wooden Planet one. Oh, I've seen some done before, but this is actually going to be fully functional. I like Alien 3. I think it gets a lot of stick it doesn't deserve. Now, here's the fucking space jockey I was interested in. I mean, lads, is it just me, or is the guy in this chair way bigger than the fuckers that appeared in Prometheus? Fucking massive. And I know there's a suit and stuff on top of him, but he still would be much bigger. Yeah. What do you think, British Tyrannosaur? Do you think that the pilot, dead pilot in that chair is way bigger than the lads we saw in Prometheus? Ash is trying to hold off Mercury from warning them. Kane's getting lowered down. Oh yeah, there's a very fucking down and dour tone with Alien 3. It's like an Umberto Eco movie or an Umberto Eco story, like in The Name of the Rose. It doesn't focus so much on the xenomorph. It focuses more on the kind of pseudo zealite religious apocalypse kind of view of the prisoners and how they're all heinous, hideous guys, but in trying to fight this monster, this devil, this dragon, they can somehow seek redemption. Except Morris, because he made a deal with God to live forever. So yeah. Oh, the light and smoke machines that was used in the scene. Belong to the Who. Oh, I'm using my phone simultaneously while using the laptop. So I have the laptop open and I have my phone open and I have the audio muted on my phone. Finally, at the start, I had it blaring. So there's another deleted scene coming up here where Kane has a laser pistol. Don't touch it. of that, the water dripping upwards. He's pulling out the laser pistol. Down on the ground. Pew pew, indeed. Okay, honestly, if okay, I know we all know this movie, but if we had never seen Alien and you saw something like this, would you go up and stick your fucking head near it? Um, Not in the main canon. They've turned up in some comics and stories, but not anywhere else in the kind of movie continuity. Okay, question for you guys. How did they get Kane out of that cargo hold without getting infected themselves? Was there a harness attached to him? Yeah, when he's coming in and out, it's kind of hinting that he's absorbing aspects of the face hugger, or it could be just wheezing. So Ripley and Dallas are having a bollocking over coming into the ship. She's like, I'm gonna open the door anyway. And like, while you could say that she's being a nice cold bitch, she has a point. This is another scene that was added. And Lambert sees Ripley, and you bitch! Schmack! Veronica Cartwright is amazing at doing hysterics. There was a bit of a cut there because, like, you had Dallas arguing with Ripley, and then it cuts to that scene. A jagged kind of cut. Speaking of which, we're going to try and remove one of the knuckles. That's another thing I don't like about Alien Covenant. Like, Alien Covenant, Alien vs Predator. Um, The facehuggers take minutes to implant the embryo. We have 4 people in the chat. Does any of you guys need a time code or anything? I'm dubious about Disney acquiring the rights to the franchise. Um, I know they've released a number of Alien Junior novelizations. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh yeah, that's it's not a by the book kind of Starfleet kind of ship. It's a bunch of guys who are like, yeah, we'll cut corners to get stuff done. Truckers in space. Yeah, but British Transport, that's any company now. I mean, the fucking rate of turnover with movies. Like, when it works, we get the Marvel movies. When it doesn't work, we get, like, fucking Fast and the Furious or the like. It's just, uh, Also, I keep on forgetting Harry Dean Stanton is in Avengers, or Avengers Assemble. You an alien? Oh, they're trying to fix the ship. Ah, it's okay, Anthony. I'll just break into your house and put rats in your bed. And no, I think you are right. I think that franchises do need to have a break and like kind of regroup because you need to have a fresh perspective on things. Again, I would like to see what they done with Star Wars was clever. Some of it annoys me, some of it doesn't. But for example, Rogue One showed showed how the rebels came into the Death Star plans. I would love to see the fall of Hardly's Hope. I'd love to see like how Newt's family was killed, how the colony fell. I'd love to see movies set in between um, those movies. Again, I think the comics are doing a fantastic job. Like the Adventures of Amanda Ripley in Aliens Defiance and Alien Isolation is cool, and in Resistance as well. And you've that gap of time, but you also have a 200-year gap between Alien 3 and Resurrection. So surely you could set some stories in between then. What do you think? Would you like to see a prequel to Aliens with the Hardly's Hope colony? So yeah, Ripley and Ash are giving each other shit over the quarantine, and he's brimming up this kind of whole humanist bullshit that I was trying to save the crew. He wasn't trying to save the crew. He was trying to save the specimen. I like how Dallas goes to the shuttle to listen to classical music. It's like he wants peace. He just wants to be left alone. Kind of like he's the cubbyhole, man cave, to shuttle. That would be cool, Anthony, but that would cost a fortune. Oh yeah, but like, how long could you have? a simulation running on an Oculus Rift, and one with something that has a very solid narrative. I do think that we'll see him down the road, but I don't think it'll be anytime soon, and I don't think it'll be inexpensive. Oh, and it's on her shoulder. Oysters. They like made a kind of shell, hollowed, made it silver and filled it with different kind of forms of raw seafood. Did we already kind of get that story though? Yeah, there was a novel um, set after Resurrection. It was not great to be honest. It wasn't Steel Egg, but it was a Dark Horse novel, not a comic, but it was released after. I certainly don't consider Alien vs Predator versus Terminator the sequel to Resurrection. That thing was all over the fucking place. One, but definitely we wouldn't, in the name of God, consider it a sequel to any of the movies. It would be set in a very grimy city. So, as John said, Earth, what a shithole. Although the alternate ending of Alien Resurrection with them landing on Earth. Oh, so you'd see her kind of doing a John Rambo and taking out the corporate soldiers. Okay, so the ship is taking off. They must use some models. Walk in the park. Yes, so they've reconnected with the refinery, and they're all sitting around deciding what they're going to do about Kane and going into quarantine and having to wait another 8 months, I think, to get back up to Earth. Right. That would be cool, Anthony. You'd have to get David Cronenberg or someone to direct that. Actually, British Tyrannosaur, because I know you read some of the comics. If you could see any of the Aliens comics brought to the big screen, which would you like to see brought to the big screen? And Kane's awake. Like the old Wizardino. One more minute of bed, I'm back. Yeah, it is. It is a pretty horrible location for something like this to happen on top of your food while you're eating. Horrible to happen in any fucking location. You're sitting down eating and stuff down. No, Jones hasn't gotten away yet. Um, this is a chest burster scene. There's a guy underneath the table that is shuffling it up, and John Hurt is laughing because there's a guy smoking a fag trying to push this dick-shaped monster up through the hole in the table. Veronica Cartwright, I think, got a full fucking pellet of blood into the face. And she ended up like falling flat in her arse. I mean, that is way more intimidating than a fucking a marionette, the plastic marionette doing this. You'd love to see some Kenner style aliens. It would be interesting, but I think it did suit better in an action setting rather than a horror setting. Why aren't they ejecting Kane into space? Would you not want to bring back the body? Or is it a quarantine reason? I don't know. Actually, British Transfer, did you have any of the Kenner aliens growing up as a kid? I don't think you did, though, did you? Oh, you had the Flying Queen like I did. I have two. I have one without wings, and I have one with wings. And one of them goes on top of my Christmas tree every Christmas. Was it the bull alien? Because that figure was common as muck. Everyone had the bull alien. You, British Transfer, you should do a collection video. I'd love to see your figure collection. Oh yeah, those knockoff ones. There was one that it was just rigid, and it had wings, and it was just like that. Okay, so they're looking for the alien. Now here's the thing, guys. Ash designed the Ash designed the motion sensors. So did he deliberately make them shit or put a flaw in them as to ensure that the crew wouldn't capture the alien? What do you think? You think he deliberately sabotaged the design so they wouldn't be able to catch the alien? Or that maybe they worked just about enough that the crew would get close to the alien but would never kind of be able to catch it? Also, something to notice that like the lights and the power is out, and this actually came up earlier on when Dallas asked if they could take off, and Ripley says no, we're still blind on B and C decks. So if they had maybe taken the time to repair the lights and the motion sensors on that level, it might have given them a fighting chance, but they didn't. So essentially, Dallas did kind of screw over the crew. Um, about the motion sensor, just that it's so fucking vague to read, and that it ends up being more of a hindrance than a help. Like Ripley's shaking the shit out of it, and it's picking up false signals. But then again, that's also Jones. But what do you think? Arr, bad kitty. Hmm. If yeah, if we're going on, see, here's the thing: the company in this movie, the company hasn't encountered the xenomorph yet. So, would Ash be fully confident in its uh, in its uh, in its ability to survive? Does he know the creature well enough to? Yeah, kitty, 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 kitty. Well, British transfer, you are right. Jones did survive. The cat looks nothing like it. Oh, Brett found someone's spaghetti. No, 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 no. Yeah, like this ship is like the cathedral in hell. This is actually my second favorite scene from the director's cut. Got this pan up shot. I like the fact he's hesitant about entering the room and he's like, oh, fuck it. I'll have a look around. Yeah, and it's like Ash in Evil Dead 2. He got such a fright, his hair turned white. My favorite scene's coming up. There it is, it's just hanging there. And if you didn't know anything about the ship, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird piece of machinery. Oh, I read that novel. Out of the Shadows. I fucking hate that novel. Oh, and it comes down like a spider. And Jones is back now. They've done that by getting a piece of perspex glass in front of the cat and having a German Shepherd at the other side. Originally, Brett was actually stabbed, paralyzed by its stinger, and then bitten in the head. Yeah, the lips are really fucking menacing. And they realize, yeah, that taser isn't going to do shit. That face on the cat, for ages I thought it was maybe a puppet or something, but no, it's a real fucking cat making that. That was cool, but I think where they've done the whole fucking Revenge of the Sith, like C3PO getting his mind wiped, they've done the same with Ripley to explain how she can't recollect any of the events of this story. I'm thinking of picking up Cold Forge, but so far I'm not liking any of the new Alien books. Steve Perry done the best. We have 4 people in the chat. Anyone else watching this movie? Oh yeah, the Pooley Med Pod. that he uses to kill the Doctor. There was some parts of that I enjoyed, and I liked the audiobook because whoever they got to do Ripley in the audiobook was fucking bang on. But by and large, I just didn't like the story. I like the fact he used acid guns on the aliens. I like the charge thumpers. I like the idea that they used mining equipment to kill it. But it was very Salido having her mind wiped. I like the fact that you can play this uh, scene in Alien Isolation through Expendable. That's the DLC, and it lets you pick Dallas, Parker, or Ripley. Jesus Christ! So he's carrying a flashlight and a flamethrower. I just wouldn't have had Ripley in the fucking story at all. Would have been much more interesting just to have the crew of that ship do that mission. They could have done the entire mission without having Ripley or Ash involved. I love how out of his depth Dallas is in the scene. He's like, what the fuck have I done? I should have not gone in here. You could have. Oh, definitely not perfectly. To see Sorrow's story, I think was a joke. Oh, poor Dallas. I actually have a very cool Dallas figure. Thank you, Anthony. You got it for my birthday, if I'm not mistaken. He's in his pressure suit, and he's got the laser gun that Kane had. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Went one way and give us a kiss. Bye bye, Dallas. For now. When I first watched this, I genuinely did think Dallas was the main character. Again, This was one of the movies that did bring up the trope of having like a strong female character. So you weren't really expecting like the female character to step up. That is a good question, Anthony. What do you think? Did you think Ripley was the main character? It's another restored scene I think coming up here. I'm wide awake. I'm a bit tired. I'm there for. Do you have your course tomorrow? Actually, no. It's a Saturday. Why am I asking that? Sorry. And so Ash is fucking off to help load the flamethrower. This is the restored scene. Ripley goes to comfort Lambert. Zachary, hey, how you doing, dude? Are you watching Alien? And if so, do you want a time code? So yeah, Ripley's accessing Mother. Order 937. Pretty sinister order. Emperor Palpatine probably should just fucking sinister. This feels like a clever specimen. Priority one. Ensure we can inform business support analysis. All other considerations. Secondary. Crew expensive. Hmm. Oh! Enjoy that. It is an awesome game, dude. Okay, so you'll notice here that Ripley has a bloody nose. This is actually because there was a scene removed where they almost trapped the alien in an airlock, but Ash activated the Halak system and it ran off, but it got its arm trapped in a door and it bled acid and caused the ship to depressurize in one section. So all the air was being sucked out, and Ripley and Parker were suffering from the bends. Yeah, that's why she has a bloody nose. So Ash is going to attack Ripley. Now I don't know if he's malfunctioning or if he is just that sadistic, but it seems he actually wants to rape Ripley using a porno mag. Well, no, in kind of in kind of agreed canon, a facehugger only has a very small lifespan once out of the egg or the hive. So yeah, he's trying to rape Ripley, orally rape Ripley with a porno mag. Jesus. And there goes Yaphet with the fire extinguisher. And obviously it's flipping out. Dana Bannon didn't write this scene. I think it was Walter Hill added this scene. Or David Geiler, I'm not sure. And he's pounding the shit out of it. It's a robot. It's a goddamn robot. And up it gets again. Drops down with the taser on the Ash robot. Guys, favorite Alien video game from any generation of console? He actually had real maggots put in his face. I am. They've all been compiled, so I'm going to review them over the weekend. Um, or and Specimen are probably my favorite. Zach. Um, have any of you guys seen the shorts, the IGN shorts? I watched the last two tonight, and to be honest, I think they're a bit lackluster. British Tyrannosaur, what are you smoking? It was fun, but I knew you were fucking kidding. Yeah, AVP for the Xbox One was cool. Um, I enjoyed Isolation. I know you had trouble with that Isolation, Ant, because um, the fact that they had to update so much. It has its moments, but by and large, it was such a fucking letdown. Randy Pitchford is a fucking dick, a liar, and a charlatan. He was given money by Fox to make the game, and he used said money to make Borderlands 2, and then whatever was left over, he outsourced to other companies to make Colonial Marines, and they weren't as proficient as say Gearbox. Oh yeah, they're gonna blow the ship. Burn that droid. Fire! Fire! Oh, Gearbox is the worst. Fucking Duke Nukem as well. No, I would love to have gone. I'd love if they brought it back. British Tyrannosaur, you're living in the UK. Did you ever get to do the Alien Terror thing? I think it was in London. It was in Piccadilly Circus. So Ripley's prepping the Narcissus. Think it closed shop in maybe late 90s. Would it have been 97 or 98? And when did you go see it in Dublin? A young and yeah, kids these days. Let's go back for the cat. Leave the fucking cat. You don't my lawn. Okay, so Ripley's looking for Jones. Okay, if you were on a spaceship with a malvoyant alien creature, would you go back for your cat? Because I most certainly wouldn't. If it was a dog, yes, but definitely not a cat. So you go back for the cat. British Tyrannosaur, what about you? Would you go back for your cat? Oh, scared the shit out of her by the cat. She's like, fine, I'll fucking leave you, stupid cat. My gorgeous girlfriend Neve has joined the chat. Cat in case I can't put my own funeral. Neve, where on the list would you put Ripley in your own personal list of favorite heroines from comics, movies, or books? Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. And he can't use his flamethrower. As he'll roast her. So yeah, this is a fairly gory scene. The actor who played this, he was Balaji Beho, who played the Xenomorph. And Ridley Scott met him in a pub, I think in Nottingham. That's Brett's legs. That's not actually Lambert's legs. They just put that scene in to kind of really insinuate a kind of a sexual assault. Like, it's obvious that Lambert is naked. That it's propped her up. Yeah, she's no hidden agenda. She wants to kill the xenomorphs. That's it. Big levers, two hands. To anyone watching, please check out my lovely girlfriend's channel, Pixie Pencil. She does amazing art. She reviews some really cool figures, and she's awesome in general. She also has the patience of a saint to be stuck with me. So oh my gosh. It's true though. I might be a big lummox, but it's true. Okay, so my favorite scene coming up in the director's cut. So she's gone into the bowels of the ship, and some people might argue this doesn't add anything, but to me, it adds an even more bigger sense of dread. It's like, okay, so If you're lucky, it kills you, and if you're not lucky, it does this to you. Now, this scene works in the context of if you don't take aliens into the continuity, that this is how the Xeno breeds. And British Tyrannosaur, can you see this scene working in conjunction with aliens? That there's a queen? Or could you even suggest that the xenomorph on board this ship is becoming a queen, and maybe she needs to establish an early hive? Yeah, I know. There's a guy there holding the panel. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Oh, the cat. She's come back to the cat. This bit here where she just sees the chin coming around the corner. That's another scene that's been restored for he fucking swats the cat box aside. He did. And he get fucked aside in a cat box. You can't turn off the self-destruct system. Bitch. That's why you never run a ship on Windows Vista. Are you kidding, Ant? That Xeno would have eaten fucking Jones like a burrito. Messy and fast. So she's come back to the ship. Got the cat. Got the flamethrower. She dumps the cat box. Ah! The cat's just going fucking ballistic. He'll be okay. He can wave that panel out in space. Yeah, I think he was in cahoots with the alien, in fairness. It's all Panel Man's fault. He was hiding on the ship. Uh, yeah, in space, no one can hear you scream, but they can hear a massive fucking explosion. Well, actually, now that you mentioned the British Tyrannosaur, one of the original endings Scott had envisaged for Alien was the alien actually got back into the ship, pulled out the harpoon, tore off Ripley's head, ate it, then sat down on the chair, and then Ripley's voice managed to contact the company to say it was coming back to Earth. So yeah, well, pulling in debris like a pontoon cable, maybe. Although would it work in open space? How would you fire it? Would it not just float? Woman, get me out of this box! No, I know on the escape pod, but like, I have the fucking cat in space. I like that, he's sticking his claws in her. Bitch, you threw that box around. Under the sea. I know it's meant to be sexy, but Ripley's underwear looks super uncomfortable. What comes to hand? Oh, another thing Scott said is that the alien actually went into that little alcove to die. It had procreated. It had basically it was the wasp that had stung once, and basically its life cycle was over. So that's why it went into the that little kind of crevice to die. Technically, it is true. While LV-426 wasn't their planet, we had no real right to terraform a planet we knew nothing about. No, I won't. That's for my next live stream. Terminator 2. On the bike. Fuck's sake. No. Okay, she's suiting up. Well, technically this is 70s. I tell you what, I'll review a horror movie on the bike if you review Captain America, the First Avenger, while doing weights, and we'll call it a lucky snare. I just love how well concealed it is in there as well. I have another theory that depending on where the xenomorph chest bursts, it takes on aspects of the environment. Like this xenomorph has a very kind of greasy biomechanical armor, like the Nostromo. The warrior aliens had a very kind of metallic kind of sheen to them, like the parts of the atmosphere processor. The runner alien in Alien 3 a very rusty kind of pipe-like body, just like the steel mill in the prison. Up he gets. Out you go. Grappling gun stuck. Ow. Ow. I'll try going up this way. And she cooks him. That's actually a big spotlight with a shower, kind of shower sprinkler system around it. And he's being suspended from the ceiling in the ship. Away he goes. He's still floating out there to this day. I think that's going to be for like the 80th anniversary edition. They released that scene. Just like look at that. We can't see him. He's doing a dab there. Dabbing there for you. Ripley's monologue. They're all dead. I'm alone, but I've a cat. So yeah, guys, that's it. That is Alien, the director's cut. So thanks a million for tuning in, people who watched. Anthony, thanks a million for tuning in. If you get a chance, guys, check out Anthony's channel. Check out British Tyrannosaur's channel. Anthony has done a 4-part kind of overview on the fall of the Assassin's Creed series. And British Tyrannosaur, like myself, as a big Aliens and Jurassic Park fan, so check out these videos. Queenie Todd, thanks a million for tuning in. You were the best. You're more than welcome. Anthony, thanks a million. And Neve, thanks as well for tuning in. And thanks for putting up with me. I got so bloody excited I forgot to say goodnight to my girlfriend. But no, guys, thanks for tuning in. You guys rock. This was fun. I intend to do one more video for a kind of Alien Day. Well, after Alien Day, I'm going to be reviewing the shorts, the IGN shorts. And yeah, thanks a million. And yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.